Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee.
Now, if you have seen our Instagram posts this weekend, then you know that we are queering Advent. Can we get an amen up in this virtual church? We are queering Advent. You see, queering is a methodology, which is a fancy word to say it's a way of doing something. Queering is a methodology. Queering is a way of doing something. In particular, queering is a method for challenging binaries, such as the male, female, gender, and sex binaries. It brings to light Queering brings to light the fluidity and the space that is beyond and between these binary categories. Queering opens up and makes boundaries porous and brings to light the fluidity and the space between and beyond the binary categories of our culture. Hope, as this first week of Advent reminds us, brings to our attention, is a queer act. Hope is a queer act. It calls us beyond the binary of present versus future or past. Hope calls us beyond the binaries of present or future or present and past. Hope calls us to witness the sparks of possibility that are already shining now in the present moment and which carry us forward with new insights and with new and deeper love for one another, so that this present moment would be a series of moments, of interconnected moments that create a more just and beautiful future. And hope calls us to look at this past Advent narrative of this story that happened some 2,000 years ago to make it meaningful in the present so that it would inspire a more just future. Hope is the possibility of what could be in the midst of what is, and that is quite clear. Quite queer and quite clear. Can we get an amen? So this Advent season, perhaps more than most Advents in our lifetimes, demands that we pay attention to Advent's queerness. This Advent season demands it more than those in the past, because we're in the holiest season, one of the holiest seasons of the Christian calendar, talking about hope. Meanwhile, a genocide against Palestinians is continuing in Gaza. We are preparing for a future of liberation that is supposedly already here and yet not fully realized. Meanwhile, anti-Semitic hate crimes in London alone are up 1,350%, not 100%, 1,350 increase in anti-Semitic hate crimes in London alone. And in France, some Jewish persons are taking their names off their mailboxes for fear of their safety. As we prepare for quiet and peace, 3 college students of Palestinian descent were shot in Vermont this week. This is indeed a queer and challenging time. This is indeed a queer and challenging Advent, and we don't have to hide the pain. This Advent and this community invites you to hold both the pain and the hope together, for it is in this holy tension that beauty and transformation emerge. We cannot fall prey to the binaries of Palestinian existence versus Jewish safety. We cannot fall prey to the binaries of queer rights versus trans rights. We cannot fall prey to the binaries of despair versus hope. No, this queer season of the church calls us to recognize that in the midst of despair and pain, the possibility, the humanity, and the hope is already present in the solidarity that is witnessed in communities like this, where folks gather from all around the world, regardless of creed or affiliation, without devaluing each of our creeds or identities or affiliations, where diversity truly means diversity and not a dissolution of difference. So this Advent season, may we prepare. May we prepare for a world that is co-created from the deep love that undergirds our communal existence. May we co-create a world that is built out of radical solidarity with one another, that is undergirded by hope, by attuning ourselves to both the pain and the hope of this season, to holding these two together and witnessing the transformation that might occur. May it be so.